Oh, Susie Q. Oh, Susie Q. Oh, Susie Q. Baby, I love you. Susie Q. Like the way you walk. Like the way you talk. Like the way you walk. Like the way you talk. Susie Q. Go for it, boys. Say that you'll be true. Say that you'll be true. Say that you'll be true. Never leave me blue. Susan Q. Yeah. Say that you'll be mine. Say that you'll be mine. Say that you'll be mine, oh, baby, all the time. Susan Q. What do we got, brother?
We got two great guitar players. We gotta play a lead. All right, that's better. You know, sometimes I sit here in the Dutch Hall and I think about, maybe my perspective on the world isn't really that good, just staring at four walls here in Pine Grove all the time, But lucky for me, I got these friends. That like to travel. They like to go all over the world, They like to see things. They like to do things. They like to go deep into the jungle, into the lands that no one ever goes to.
Parts unknown.
To find themselves, to find who they are, I got them here tonight in the Dutch Hall. The two world travelers, Ben Perrier and Braden McCuman.
Yeah.
And their old compatriot from the Red Party Pirates, Kev Belanger, is here to listen to their dreams and their hopes and what they learned about themselves. And you know what? I too am going on a roundabout, or walkabout. And we sent our own day charters to the Orient to find out what's going on in the world. But there's only one way to get to all this stuff.
How's that, Pete?
It's a theme song, Michael.
Oh.
You know that one?
Yeah, your slap rattle, Peter.
This one? Oh, you're ready.
Ready to this one.
Welcome everybody to Live from the Dutch Hall. We are Canada's only late night talk show. I don't care what Frank D'Angelo says.
Suck it. Suck it, Frank, you loser.
I don't care what Mike Bullard said. We are the only one in history, I'm going on to say. Because we're the only one that fit the criteria of being the greatest, being the only. We are it. And you know why we are that way? Because we have the greatest band in late night history in Canada. fifth Beatle. There's like the fifth Nocturnal Emissions member. I'd say it's Braden DeCuman, everyone. He's right there.
Old friend. Old friend.
Taking the place of Dave Charters, which I think is, we all agree, is a nice improvement. And back where he belongs, between the legs of the Nocturnal Emissions, hanging low and swinging.
Balls deep.
He's the balls of the Nocturnal Emissions. Whiskey Wes Hagens is back, everyone.
Woo, yeah.
And on the skins, he's the savior of sound.
Hopefully.
I think we got a lick this week. And he's also a good friend of the show. Kev Belange, everybody.
Yeah.
And you know, our director tonight, he clicks on the buttons. You know, he does so much for the show, but he likes to be kept in the dark. He says, keep me in the dark. I want to be on the side, but you know what? I want to recognize this motherfucker for his efforts. Paul Van Dyke, everyone. Look at him. He's a director. Let's get him a chair. Woo! Make it big. And our guest tonight, sitting at the bar with Polly, the world traveler himself, Ben Perry. Yeah.
Benny! Yeah. Kick it up.
That's right, on the
I'll be
big-
playing the X tonight.
And I am the host of this show. Put it on the one shot, Paul. I'm on it. I am two-time President's Club Award winner. Check the shelf, people. Pete Van Dyke, everyone.
Yeah. Hello, Peter.
That's nice. That's a nice opener.
That works.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it was
That
fun.
worked. Very good, boys. It's a good one.
And it was a break. Like Kev, last week it was really tough on you. That had to have killed your wrist. Like, did you have like a like some
I
sort of?
don't do enough exercises with my left.
You gotta
None of
switch
the
Gotta
hands.
stranger.
switch it up.
Yeah.
It just goes to show.
Rookie
Yeah,
move.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. We like to help. We like to challenge our band members. That's what we do here at Live from the Dutch Hall. Michael,
Yes.
you're back after a long hiatus. I call 1 week a long hiatus.
I was gonna say, have I been gone longer than one?
7 long days.
I even forget why I was
I think
gone.
that's your
Oh, I
record,
know
though.
now why I was gone because I was
Yeah.
practicing parenting.
Yes, you were.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
More
you were
like birth
practicing
control.
parenting. No, are you at liberty to discuss your? We have not talked about it.
Sure.
So So now my theory was, I don't know if you heard the show last
yeah,
week.
I listened back.
Was my theory bang on?
Pretty accurate, I would say.
Yeah.
I would say right in the bullseye.
Did it work? Were you managed? Like, for those that didn't watch last week, I suggested, because Mike said he was having his sister's kids,
Right.
And you
4
said,
boys.
and they were sick.
Yeah, a couple of them were.
The young ones or the old ones?
Young ones. The old ones are easy, is what I find out.
Yeah, they're easy.
Just let them be.
Yeah.
The younger ones, that's the ones you gotta entertain.
I love this because you are not a parent,
Yeah, I'm not used to it.
so you're going in like basic. Where's the buzz come from, Steve? So,
Yeah, I'm not blind, but I'm.
but you're going in like
I'm
into the frying.
Right, yeah.
Into the frying pan.
Yeah,
hot.
I'm used to just hanging out with them, like at a family thing, and then like being Uncle Mike playing mini sticks, and then they just send them off full of adrenaline with my sisters, and they go home.
Yeah.
And this time it was like I had to watch them for a few days in a row.
A few days.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this
Yeah.
is a real test. I thought it was one night.
No, it was I think 3 days in a row.
3 days in a row.
Yeah.
This is a real test.
Yeah.
4 children
Yeah.
between the ages of what?
The oldest being I should know. He's grade 8. 12, 13, and the youngest 5.
Okay, so the
That's
oldest
my house.
13.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
what
Steve,
he
I was
deals with
practicing
on a
being
daily
you.
basis. Yeah. So you go
Yeah,
from
he's 5.
you go from being Bachelor Mike Bowe, the band leader of the Nocturnal Emissions, right, to all of a sudden you're like the father of 4 children.
Yes.
You're Steve, the reluctant German. You've all of a sudden traded your glorious life with sweet Kelly.
Just
You
the
know,
two
where
of
it's
you.
just the 2 of you, walking around with your dick out,
Yeah.
you
Nonchalant. just-
nonchalant, anything you want, whenever you want, you know.
Yeah.
And you go to this. You go to Steve's hell that he lives in every day. So I want you to know, like, do you have a newfound respect for the man?
Oh yeah, totally a new respect, and just it opened our eyes up. I can't take all the credit because sweet Kelly did most of the work. If I'm being honest, who am I kidding? She's just an angel sent from heaven.
Was she? But at the end of it all, was she like, whew, that's a lot.
Yeah. No, I think it took a toll on her. Like when we got home on our own, we had a nice little Sunday to ourselves.
Yeah, where you just
It's a timeout.
Yeah, that's right.
Definitely improve your pull-out game, I bet.
Oh yeah. I all of a sudden, yeah.
I want to talk about that on the air, Paul. It's rude. We're getting married next year. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you. Once they get married, I think she's going to be looking into birth control methods because. Well, no, is she Catholic?
Yeah.
It's not allowed then.
That's right.
She's going to be taking the seed. That's what you have to do. The only thing that the Catholics will allow, Michael, is the rhythm method, which is the pillow method, right? Right?
Did you say the pillow method?
No,
or
pull out.
Oh, pull out method.
Did
I thought there was a method I didn't know about.
Who's been married Catholic? Anyone? You weren't married Catholic? Were you married Catholic? Were you married Catholic? Did you have to take the training? Yeah. So they teach you about the pull-out method in the Catholic. When you're going to get married, you have to go to the church and you have to take a course where they teach you. Part of the course is they teach you how to pull out, and they tell you when you shouldn't even fuck at all. These are the two things they teach you. And Charter's had a better course than mine. I wish he was here for this because I think we've told him the show before.
I think so.
But so, anyways, the one thing they teach you is you don't want to bang at all when they're ovulating because that's a dangerous time. Even when you pull out, you can get a little pre-jizz and it'll squirt out of your dick. They don't use these words in the church like they use church words more like that. But that's how I understand it. So then so sometimes you get a little squirt out and you'll get her pregnant. So they say don't do that in the ovulation time because these girls will get pregnant sharing a toothbrush, sort of thing, So they go, what you could do before
I don't know anything about this.
Oh, Michael, you got to take the training, man.
The Holy
You're
Sacrament.
not ready for marriage at all. The Holy Sacrament of marriage in the Catholic Church. Are you getting married Catholic?
No.
Oh, you son of a bitch. No. Anyways, I don't care. I really have no care at all about that.
Let's move on.
Yeah, Charters would be rolling over in his grave, which is Charters dead, by the way. When's the last time he was on the show? By this time, he's Pokeroo. The new audience that we got have never seen Charters. They don't know he exists.
Yeah, that's right.
Now we sent him off to the Orient. But anyways, I want to get. Where was my point? Where was I going?
You were 4 kids and.
Did you ever meet a Catholic who had rhythm?
Oh, Catholic, yeah. They were telling you the way that you can tell your wife's ovulating is you put your fingers in her vagina, and then when you do this, you go like this with the mucus or whatever you get out of her vagina, whatever. If there's stuff sticking together between your fingers,
right?
She's ovulating. Stay away. Get a blowjob. That's the Catholic way. And then.
And that's what you tell her. Not tonight. I just.
I did this thing. It was all gummy. Fuck that. You're
gonna have to.
You want a baby, or you want you want to brush your teeth? I don't know.
Don't you put it in your mouth.
Quite a method.
Anyway,
Is this what the priests tell you?
this is what they teach you in the Catholic training course.
Jeez.
They'll tell you. Well, the rest of the time, just pull out. They don't tell you what to do. They say just don't blow it in there. That's the one thing that works. Rhythm method. And then if you still get her pregnant, even with the rhythm method, when she's not ovulating, that's God's will.
It's not yours.
Oh, yeah. It could be Father Murphy's.
Or
I don't
Poblinski's.
Anyone's. I don't know. I don't know what your wife's up to.
Yeah, it was a different weekend, but it was fun, and the boys were good all around. So we're moving on.
Yeah. Well, we should also move on here to a segment that we have a new jingle for, Charters, that was written without you. It's got a bit of a jazz feel, and I like it. And it's about world trends.
Oh, world trends.
You know that one? Do you remember what you did 5 minutes before the show? And you made up a new thing?
It was the
Then
song
do
you
the
were
old
working
thing.
on.
That's the cheese lady.
Oh, no, we can't do the cheese lady.
Can't, not the cheese
We
lady,
have to
not
do
yet.
a new thing.
We wanted the jazzy one.
That jazzy one. Well, there we go.
Trends. What's going on? All you stupid people wondering what's going down in your town. It's world trends. Ask all your friends. It's world trends. World trends. Charters in the Orient. It's world trends. That's world trends.
Welcome to World Trends, everybody. This is a time where we try to like whore ourselves out to the general internet and whatever the sheep are like into, like whatever's the hot topic on the interweb. We are gonna like talk about it in order to just like try to whore ourselves out to the masses, right?
To get hits.
Yeah. This week, you know what research I did? I bet about none. I did about none, but you know what I know is going on in the world?
It's a Dutch Hall fact.
This is what I think is going on in the world. Number one, I know that in the United States right now, Trudeau is a big topic. Like our guy, our leader, our fearless leader, Justin Trudeau, is a big topic of conversation there because they're talking about how Donald Trump, a lot of the liberals even in the States will talk about how Donald Trump is like horrible and they want the opposite of him. And then they look at us and they're like, maybe the opposite of him isn't any good. Because he was, our guy Trudeau was in Chicago. Did you see him in Chicago? And he was talking about trade, you know, like this is a drama teacher talking about trade. I'm an economic major. You know, it's like, fuck off. You don't know what you're talking about. You know, it's like really upsetting to me. Anyways, he's talking about that for a while. And then he starts talking about his new world, you know, how Canada is like this accepting country of everybody, and we're all like la-di-da glorious and everything else. And then he goes, one of the girls is like totally on his woke side, you know. She's like wants to like support him, you know. She wants to like give him encouragement. So she's like supporting his point, but in the process of doing so, she makes the horrible error of saying, in the benefit of mankind, we should do this. And he cuts her off in the middle of her supporting him to say, oh, no, not mankind. It's person kind.
Oh, Jesus.
It's person kind. And we would appreciate it if you'd like start changing, you know, your hate speech that has been like our fucking language
This is what
since
Trudeau's
like
saying.
thousands of years. Like, it's a root word. It's a root word.
Aren't we as
Fuck
a whole
off.
mankind?
It's a root word, you know? Like, fuck off. Seriously. It's a language thing. It's not a gender fucking anything. Like, fuck off.
Maybe it's that hair product going to his head.
You think, I don't understand. You know what it is? It's a guy who's not an intellectual. He's a feeler. He feels with his emotions, you know, Trudeau.
A pussy.
Yeah, that's
That's what
yeah.
you're technically describing.
But he's like he doesn't. No one has claimed that Trudeau is an intellectual. No one has said that he's a smart guy. They say he has emotional intelligence, right? Emotional intelligence, which is what? He like I don't want a guy with emotional intelligence making the rules of like speaking for Canadians. He speaks for Canadians all the time. I'm like, I'm a fucking Canadian. I don't agree with any of this shit, you know? And I voted for you, like an idiot.
Do you know he came? Pete, do you know he came back and said that it was a joke?
Oh, was it a joke?
That's what he said.
Oh, that's his backtracking bullshit?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
satire.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's hilarious.
He's pretending he's a prime minister. He's a drama teacher.
Yeah.
I mean,
The great
he's good at
person
pretending.
kind
I was
punchline.
acting, yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, that is what the job is now, right? It's to try to, like, play a part in order to, like, gain favor to whoever you're trying to...
Look good for the media.
Yeah, it's really not it's not about public servants who have great policy ideas or great ways to change the way we do things. It's about people that know they can like win a fucking popularity contest to get a cushy job where you get a pension after 2 years. You know, that's what politics is. It's a
Yeah, not just here either. Everywhere.
no everywhere, man. It's like everywhere. The States is really bad.
Oh, yeah.
Like I
would say it's extreme there.
yeah. Like I don't think they'll have another regular president for a while.
Do you think Oprah's doing it?
No.
No, she said no.
It's a shit job for her if she does it.
Yeah.
It really is.
I think they proved, when the female ballot was cast, that America's not ready for that.
What do you mean? Like when they vote for Hillary?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but
there was-
Oprah trumps Hillary. You got to admit that.
that's double minority.
Double
That's either
mi-
that's a win,
Yeah.
or it's not in some people's eyes. I'm not saying my eyes. Misogyny is bad, and I don't agree with it.
No, I'm going for the liberal vote. You got like the double minority, like you said, like a woman and black, right? So both those things are awesome for them. And then you also have like the middle of the country, like crazy, like the middle of the country, just like regular people in the
White
middle,
people.
and the middle of the country who've been watching Oprah forever, who love her, right? Who are just like, I'm going to vote for Oprah because like she's never done me wrong before. Like I won a car one time. I went to Chicago. It's fucking awesome.
Maybe they got a gift from her.
Yeah, I got it. You know what's a great story? My dad, Willie Van Dyke, and for those who don't know it, he's one of the super fan of the show, great supporter, and I gave him a hard time last time when he gave me feedback. No one was ready for it, but you got
It was a quick one.
Yeah, I really pulled that out of my ass.
Rhythm method.
Yeah, that's right.
It didn't work.
No, it didn't work. And my dad, he is a real man. Like
Yes.
no one's going to deny that. Willie Van Dyke is a real man. He's a farmer. He's like a welder. He's like a man. Like does things on his own. He's got like hands like rocks.
Hung like a moose.
Like the guy is like a real man. Like no one's going to mess with Willie Van Dyke. And he actually, you don't want to believe this, he was actually at an Oprah taping. Can you believe that?
No.
Wow.
And it turns out he was the one and only tobacco farmer in the audience that day.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
No.
He got a cooking book for free.
Wow.
Yeah. I think he gave it to me
Where was this?
in Chicago.
Oh, Chicago.
Yeah, it's because my sister lived there when
Okay.
when
Oh, right.
Ryan was playing for the Blackhawks,
Yeah.
and my dad went to visit, and they brought him to an Oprah taping.
Might as well go see the Big O.
Yeah, he said he liked it. I think. If I'm telling, I hate to speak for him. What if I got it wrong? Like I'm gonna have to hear about it.
Yeah, it's never gonna
Yeah.
go away.
So, anyways, I don't want to speak for him, but I remember it that he thought he had a positive experience there, but maybe he was just being nice to Lisa.
But think about it. If everyone got a gift bag, like if Oprah won, and you give all the voters gift bags, I'm sure a lot of people would bite on that. I'd at least ask, what's in the gift bag?
Yeah, but a lot of
To
people
vote for
would-
Oprah?
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're not allowed to you're not allowed to buy votes, right?
NRA? Like, are you not allowed to buy votes?
Just the lobbyists could do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. You have to be clever about it.
Get a
How do we do it?
corporation.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do we do it?
We're doing it all wrong.
Anyways,
apparently.
Apparently.
what was the point? We were in Trudeau, and Trudeau.
Person kind.
So,
A person kind. It's a little bit of bullshit. I saw on Joe Rogan, and I don't know if it's even true, but there was he had a seemingly expert on it, where the liberals are trying to push out like these gender pronoun things. I
Was
wish
it-
Charters was here for it.
Was it Jordan Peterson?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Is that guy for real?
I think so.
He's Canadian though, right? Is he
Yeah.
from Toronto?
You couldn't tell by the accent?
Yeah, but he was they were saying there's like 64 pronouns or something like that.
I think it's more than that.
Yeah, and then some of them are like the regular he, she, and then there's like
Zimzer,
Zimzer, they, and all that stuff.
astrogender.
I'm actually like on board with Zimzer.
You're on board with that?
No, not on board, but I understand it.
Oh, okay.
I have learned this bullshit until Zimzer, they, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then past that, I learned now there's like kinds.
Yeah.
So you can be like a worm kind. If
Yeah.
you think of yourself not as a man or a woman, but a worm, then you could be a worm kind. Or if you want to be a pixie kind, this is one of the Canadian genders we want to recognize, is you can be a pixie kind. So if you think of yourself as a pixie, because when you're a kid you like fucking Tinkerbell. Which brings me to this point. Do you think?
what the fuck are you talking about?
I feel like I need to.
No,
Like,
you know what I mean. Like
No, I
This
don't.
is
Yeah.
for real. They're saying that there's genders. There's like he, she, and then there's like a they, or like if you don't think you're a man or a woman, you can be a zim or zer or they, whatever you want to call yourself.
Gender neutral.
And then you can say I'm gender neutral or whatever. Don't call me any of these things. You have to call me this. And like I don't know, Wes, you have a real job. Do they ever teach you this shit? No,
They
don't
will.
teach you. They taught Charters it, and then
That's
that's
Zimzer?
all that shit, man.
Really?
Yeah, and it's filtering into the corporate world, and it's like this whole like where these people are like holding us hostage for language changes. But if we didn't take the training and we're just living our lives, none of this stuff makes sense to us.
No, I'm basically playing Dungeons and Dragons. All I need is dice. Like I'm just gonna put the names of them and just roll them and see if I hit it every time.
Yeah, you have to, but like to say that you have to recognize a person for whatever the fucking thing they cook up in their head. I don't know. I'm not
Are
there.
born with.
Yeah, I'm not there with it, man. You can like I get like if you're a boy and you think you're a girl, but then all of a sudden if you're like a fucking boy and you think you're a pixie or something like that,
Or like-
I'm out, man.
Or like
I'm fucking
furries,
out.
or like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
there's a limit, I think.
There
I mean,
has to be.
Those are called fetishes, not. I don't need to name you after your fetish.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like Brado or Braden auto asphyxiation. Like, I'm not,
I thought he was a brony.
You know what? I think the more
You can't come back from that.
there was no
No, just
comeback.
don't comment.
Just quiet acceptance. Yeah, I like My Little Pony because Rainbow Dash is fucking cool as shit.
So
Maybe you
fucked
should just
up.
get off Rainbow Dash's ass, Steve. Because I like Rainbow Dash. I don't know.
What in the fuck is our world coming to?
You don't know Rainbow?
Yeah, I do. I know.
Well, you had Steve and I have girls, so we know Rainbow Dash.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, you must know Rainbow
Yeah,
Dash.
that's, of course.
Who's
I
your
do.
favorite My Little Pony? You must have one from having to watch this shit with 4 girls.
Rainbow Dash is the only one I know.
You don't? Oh yeah, I know them all.
Really?
Oh, I can run
Who's
down.
them all?
He was a big black pony. Malcolm Amal Warner. Hey, what is this, Super Zoom or something, Paul? We got a new tool where Paul zooms things and makes me look distorted.
Totally distorted.
Yeah, it's nice, eh? Look at that. We got a new tool. Michael Moses taught us how to like double
Double
click.
click.
It was a fucking mind bender.
Just look distorted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have to get. What is that? That's the one story was Trudeau. The other one's like a bunch of serial killers in in Canada.
Yeah, Jesus.
They found a guy in Toronto. He like killed like 6 people, and then
Crazy.
and they're still like thinking there could be more. And he's like, he look at him and he looks like a some old but like just a regular unassuming dude, you know, like red faced.
Do they ever look like
yes.
No.
Robert Picton looks like he killed people.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
some people do.
Yeah, I guess.
Ted Bundy, maybe not so much.
Yeah, Ted
Robert
Bundy.
Picton, you know, some people look that way for a reason.
Yeah. That's a good point. There
Yeah,
is-
Jeffrey Dahmer didn't look like
Yeah.
you'd want to like let him in the house. You know, I think some people like Manson shows up at your
Yeah,
doorstep.
man, that's the one I was
Yeah,
thinking
with
of.
But
like,
did you, back to that, did you hear where they put the body parts or where they found the body parts?
Implanters.
Implanters.
Planter.
Yeah.
Like, out of all the places, you know you're going to find that sometime. That's, someone's going to find that.
Slaughtering dead people.
I don't know
Yeah.
any other recommended ways to do that, but I don't think hiding them in planters on the landscape that you do is really a...
Is Brian Sweezy a suspect? I'm kidding, Brian. I'm kidding.
Those are only dreams, Braden.
You know,
What about Trump's hair on that airplane?
Awesome.
oh
Holy
man,
fuck!
what a treat!
Is it
for him.
glued on his head?
No.
They say it's like a weave or something, maybe. It's
But
like-
it-
Crazy.
It,
We
it
saw
like
this.
flips up from the back.
yeah, they must take his thinning old man hair, and then they'd like take some like other gross hair, and then they like put that onto his old man hair, and then it just like lays flat. It's like a black lady or whatever that like takes her little like afro curls and then like puts
Weaves
a
it.
big like huge piece of hair onto it.
I think it exposed him for what he really is. You know, when he was walking up there, you're watching the hair all float, and then all of a sudden it blows up, and you realize he is half a skinhead.
Oh.
Wah, wah, wah.
I like. Oh shit! You know what I keep thinking of? The last point, and I can't think. I had a really good point and I forgot it, but it would have been funny.
Okay, Michael.
Yeah, I forget it. So that's it. And then wait. There was one more. There was
Starman?
what?
Starman? Monk?
Oh,
Elon
Musk sent the rocket up.
So cool.
That was a big deal when that rocket went up. Everybody was pretty excited. And they said it was the most powerful rocket ever, right? That Elon Musk sent up.
And you thought the Challenger explosion was bad.
They got a car on it, and
Just
and
wait.
when they blow up,
The first fatality on like a privately
Oh, yeah.
invested is going to go very poorly for everyone.
would
Oh, yeah.
would anyone here go to Mars on a commercial flight?
Commercial? Like, am I?
Not anytime soon. They got a lot of shit to work out.
Yeah.
A lot of kinks.
Do they have the beds where you can lay down, like when you fly? Because that's
Sleep
I
for a
want a
couple
pod.
days.
Okay, then we'll have to rephrase the question. What would it take? Like, what would Mars have to offer for you to go to Mars? Okay. So, like, how long a trip would you take to Mars, or what would have to accommodate you to be on the plane to Mars? You know what I mean?
How long does it take?
I'm gonna say 3 months,
3 months.
right? So they're gonna have to have like it's like a cruise ship, where you're like on a cruise ship for like 3 months.
Oh, there's like a pool and a hot
Disney
tub?
World.
Oh yeah, there's pools, hot tubs, theaters. There's entertainment the whole 3 months. It's all worked out. It's like I don't know if there'll be strip clubs, but I bet
Pools in space, for sure.
yeah, pools. And you're 3 months in space, you'll meet people. Believe me, you're gonna meet people. They'll probably have a jail on board. They'll have to, right?
Is there a
Like
guaranteed
drunk tank?
Is there a guaranteed safety rating? Like, am I also risking my life, or is this like a proven commercial method that millions of people
You're
use
risking
all the
your
time?
life. You're going to Mars.
Well,
Okay, well it's like you're risking your life when you take an airplane, right? So
All the
like
time.
that's it. It would be greater than an airplane risk because you have like an explosion that's going to take you out, like to break the Earth's atmosphere, and then going back in you could burn to death and die if when you're coming home.
quick though.
Those are the two big things that they have to get around.
Who says you're coming home?
Yeah.
No, you're coming home.
But what if you like it there?
Oh yeah, you don't have to go. Like yeah. But this is a trip.
Oh, okay.
This is a trip. You
Round trip.
you can stay like you could have stayed in Thailand or Morocco.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wanted to. You didn't have to come home.
That
This would be
would've
the
been
same sort of thing. You could go and come, or you could just stay. But it's a cruise ship on the way there, 3 months. And then when you get there, you'd have to stay for long enough to do another 3 months back. Like, it's a big commitment, is what I'm saying. It's a long trip. But you can work, like, you got Wi-Fi and shit. You can still, like, do your work. No
Yeah,
matter
what's
where
the
you
data
are.
plan like? You know?
Yeah, it's all interconnected.
Text
it's like
message?
yeah. You can communicate with Earth, like all the rest, all that stuff's worked out. Right?
Money. It comes down to that, I think.
Would not, yeah, okay, well, and then money, okay, so like it has to be affordable too. Like it would have to be comparable to like a flight to Australia or something, right?
Yeah.
So they have to figure out a lot of shit, like Kev saying. But like, would you pay? Would anyone be interested in it as a tourist
Yes,
destination?
Yeah,
For sure.
And you're going to, yeah, everyone would be.
What's that one movie
not?
with Schwarzenegger? Fuck.
Total Recall.
Total Recall.
That's all I think of. That or the Alien franchise. Shit like that.
Yeah, why
You
not?
figure the moon would be good enough, right?
But
And
once they get to the point when they're able to like construct on these locations.
You mean
like,
the hologram?
terraform.
never go there.
terraform? Yeah, they'd need to terraform.
Yeah.
Need to have breathable air, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And shit, that's not even in existence yet.
I think it would just be cool to go to the moon and drive a dune buggy, like those guys did. Like to go around the moon on a dune buggy would be fucking awesome with one of those suits on, like the '60s spaceman suit. Fuck yeah!
But what's holding it back? We want to militarize and take as much land here, and we've apparently been to the moon. Apparently. I'm kidding. So what is stopping everyone from going? Wouldn't that make sense to go to the moon? Not even to populate, just to own?
To own the moon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think even
What
just
is
to say,
stopping? Something's got to be.
Doesn't the U.S. already own the moon?
Well,
Technically.
Russia also technically owns the North Pole, so they fight back and forth. So why isn't there this sort of research? If we've been to the moon, why aren't people fighting? That's a natural human thing.
yeah, but the moon
Minerals.
didn't have anything. That's what they say, right?
It has cheese.
Oh yes, jeez.
I don't think the technology's at the level where they can even, they build a rocket and that's like as much as they can really get done. They get to the moon and then it's like, okay, we've got this rocket. Let's walk around for a little bit. That's
Yeah.
pretty well all we can do right now.
Yeah, there's not much there.
You could fit a little bit of beaver lumber in there. You could probably fit
That's
a
the thing.
2x4s.
Why aren't they not just beginning that process of bringing things over to
Yeah,
start
yeah.
building and whatnot? I think that's what Elon is trying to do, isn't he?
Yeah, but
Trying
on
to start
Mars,
that
yeah.
process.
Yeah.
Just build.
They
shit.
just put a car in there.
I would do it in the.
Oh, you gonna fucking drive my Tesla as soon as it gets there.
Well,
Yeah.
if you think about it, all they need is a giant spaceship that's stationary
Yep.
that can give them their breathable air.
Yeah.
They build that big enough. I mean, then you've got like, what's that?
Is there a patio? Can I
Sure.
Like, can I smoke?
No.
Is-
Like a
can't go
biome. Is
outside.
that what that's called?
Yeah, like
biome?
a
Biodome.
biodome. biosphere or biodome.
Yeah, buddy.
Who's biodome was Pauly Shore, right?
Yeah.
And one of the Baldwins.
Yeah.
No,
Probably Billy.
yeah, and Steven was it? Or no, was
Billy?
Billy?
Billy, and then the guy from that's Encino Man. With
Encino Man.
I was
yeah.
thinking Encino Man. I
big
get those two mixed up.
The big problem with it is
Fair
oil and the fuel costs for them right now are just so high. I mean, just
Yeah.
for one trip alone, like isn't that billions just for the fuel?
No, come on.
It's good for that kind of fuel.
Just
for
figure out how to make
much
it
they
diesel
go
or
through.
natural gas, and it'll all come down.
That's the thing. Once it's
Well, I think it'll be like
stable
nuclear,
energy.
won't it? It'll be like
Yeah,
some sort of
something.
new energy where they're like splitting atoms as they go to create power.
But it's
That's
Tesla. Shouldn't it be electric?
Yeah,
It'll be some sort of electric.
A hybrid.
yeah. Well, I don't care how they figure it out.
It's
Just
so
the
quiet.
fact that we have goals as a as a country or whatever, or as a world, that there is someone trying to do shit like this. There's so many other innovations that are going to happen as the guy's trying to figure it out. Like Elon Musk doesn't even know what his big business is going to be, because when he's trying to go to Mars, he's going to figure out, oh shit, I came up with this new energy and now it's changed the whole way we do everything.
They're still even trying to figure out what Nikola Tesla did. I mean, he was
Yeah.
able to harness electricity from the air. Like there was no plug-in, there was no generator, there was no nuclear anything. He was basically this toroidal unit that collected energy,
Yeah.
endless energy. And then the government, took that and seized all that when he died. And we don't know what happened with that technology. Nobody else has been able to recreate it until that guy who made that water-powered car.
Yeah.
And then that was
car.
seized by the government as well.
Yeah, it's commerce, right? Like they can't figure out how to make money off things
Oil's their best profit.
Yeah.
That's
until it runs out, and then you'll see like we'll have everything figured out then, but everyone's gonna lose their job.
The Hyperloop he was working on. Now that's an innovation, something that seems attainable.
Yeah,
They've
probably
had,
will happen. It
probably will happen.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't want to be the first guy who tests it, but it probably will happen.
yeah. And then the first cave-in will be the same thing as the first thing that blows up when it goes to space. A cave-in down there would be fucking terrible. Okay, man. But every time I go on a plane, I'm scared shitless. Are you guys?
No.
Is
No.
it never enter your brain?
I just
Fate.
accept that I'm going to die if it crashes.
Yeah, it's fate.
Oh, really? You just
Oh yeah, if that's how the odds are gonna go, like that's not what I thought would kill me. So if the plane goes down, shit got me.
Yeah, yeah. I
Not
guess
in a
so.
bad
Someone's
way.
gonna get you no matter what it is, eh?
We all die.
You might as well just take it down with you. All right, that's a good thing to think
On
about.
this happy note.
We should do a segment we call feedback. We got feedback.
We got feedback. It's feedback. It's motherfucking feedback.
Welcome to feedback. We got feedback. This week's segment is brought to you by good friends at Amazon. I just deposited our Amazon check today.
Deposited.
Oh yeah, deposited real money in the bank account. Thank you
Thick
very much.
and
And
bubbly.
it couldn't have come at a better time because we needed the money. We were in the hole for the first time ever and deeply in it. So we're thinking about ways to get out of the hole. But one way is to get all you guys to go to Live from Dutch Hall's website and click on our Amazon banners. Click off your ad blockers if they're on, just temporarily, so you can click on the Amazon banner. Do your shopping, and some of that money is going to help the show. And I promise you, I will use 100% of the proceeds to make the show cooler.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've done it so far.
Yeah.
We've took meager funds and took whatever we could put together with snot and spit and made the Canada's
this.
only late night podcast.
That's right.
Yeah, we did that with nothing. So if we got more money, we do even more cool shit. And I wanted to do a new campaign. I want to know what you guys think about this. I'm going to put out something and say, any guest you want me to book on Live from the Dutch Hall, send me a suggestion any way you can on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of that shit, and or live from the Dutch Hall at gmail.com. And I'll put out some posts, too, about this subject. And if you suggest a guest, I promise I will contact 100% of the people you suggest.
Cool.
No matter who they are, I'll at least contact them and make a pitch for them to come in. Even if I don't like them, even if I don't want them on my show. But if the general public demands it, if the general public asks for it, I will do it.
They yearn for
Now,
it.
I may ask not nicely. If I don't want the person to come in, I will ask him in an offensive way, or she, or her, in a way that she will not enjoy it.
Well,
And then I'll
people-
read it on the air.
People got to understand, you can be overwhelmed coming in here.
Oh, who?
People have been overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed with the...
Alcohol.
Well, yes, that too.
Some may drink their nerves away.
Some drink the nerves away. Some do other things.
Yeah, we've
but
been on a real run lately with people that have
it's not that easy.
have let the show get the better of them when they
That's
come
right.
into the bright lights of the Dutch Hall, and and all the nerves get to them. They end up maybe having a little bit too much whiskey, maybe have a little bit too much excitement, and maybe barfing on the floor a little bit.
That old
You know?
chestnut.
That's things that happen in the Dutch Hall. You know, what other late night talk show in the world has had two people vomit on the show?
It's probably Japanese.
We're shooting for 5.
It is probably Japanese. Those we're on to them though. I mean, we're catching them. Maybe we'll be huge in Japan. Yes.
That's what Dave's scouting.
Yeah. Dave, if you're listening, work on it.
Scout.
Send it out there. We got two pukes on the show. We got to be able to capitalize, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's big time.
2 times.
Yeah. Were you there for the one? Both of them, Wes? The fir- yeah. It's always such a treat, you know, when it happens.
It's really something special.
Like, you think it's my place and there's like electronic equipment everywhere. You think I would be upset about it, but every time it happens, I'm just excited. I'm like, I'll take any loss that happens for this vomit because it's so entertaining to me. Because it's like I know what's gonna happen after, like the horror of it, like the shame and the and like
The never coming back.
yeah, all that stuff.
But
But
you've got
we-
the video set up right now. That's the worst part, because if you do puke now,
Yeah. That's
everyone's
right.
going to see it and everyone's going to
Except if you're sitting where you are, Ben.
Yeah, best part.
The best part.
Yeah, Ben's got the worst seat in the house. Paul used to be in that seat, and
Is it
he
really
was
the worst?
Well, it's called Puke Alley because there's no escape, right? You only have one exit.
Yeah,
it's
everyone's
behind my
gonna know.
brother.
Yeah.
And where he was, the actual perpetrator of the
Right there?
yeah.
Yep.
Splash Mountain.
And then Shazma, you know. And then-
Oh,
yeah, and Shazma was there, but he didn't even try to escape. He just
Escape
like
from
let
Splash
the
Mountain.
yeah. He
Happens.
just let
Natural body function.
yeah.
that's right.
Oh, I don't have any problem with people that vomit,
No.
especially when you're just having a good time.
Well, that's a lot to take
you
on
know
on
what?
Thursday.
Yeah, both of them were really like, oh no, one had about 3-month 3-month recovery or something. Eh? The first one, she really took a long time to recover.
Spaghetti.
Yeah.
Spaghetti incident.
I'd be
She
more.
said she had thought she had really hurt herself bad from that contest. Maybe it wasn't the best idea. What do you think, Wes? You won. Great
Yeah,
idea.
Wes got his name from that contest.
Yeah, Whiskey Wes. He won that handily. Never even challenged him. Anyways, what are we on? We got Norpac.
The beef people.
There you
Hey,
go.
well done.
You like beef?
Yep.
Well, then you're gonna love Norpac.
The beef people.
That's it. That's all they ask for, and that's what we give them. And you know what? I'd be remiss. I don't even know if we covered this on next week's show, which is already in the can. But Valentine's Day is coming up, people. And you know what? You want to take your woman out or your fella. You want to take him out. You want to show him a good time. And you want to, like, have some romance. But you know what? You take him to a nice restaurant. You blow, like, a couple $100 or whatever you're going to do. $100 even. It's a lot of money in today's day and age for something like that. And you're sitting at a stuffy restaurant. You're wearing clothes that you don't wear very often because they make you feel like a little effeminate or whatever. But your wife likes them. So you wear them out to the restaurant, and you're sitting there, and you're looking at other people, and you're like, oh, fuck, man, I've, like, said everything I could say to this person in my life. You know, I don't know what else I could say. There's no more stories to tell. This is not what I really am enjoying right now, even though it might be romantic, that it's dark in here, and I can't fucking see you very well. I want to see my food when I fucking eat it, you know? But anyways, you know what you can do to make this
depressing.
I got the runs.
Wow.
You know what you can do to make this Valentine's Day better?
What?
You invite between 5 and 29 Van Dyke first cousins by calling, by giving us an email at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com, and we'll send you Van Dyke party services. That is 5 to 29 Van Dyke first cousins in bright yellow jackets. And I guarantee you that Valentine's Day night with you and your loved one is not only going to be romantic, but it is going to be the time of your life. And if you are not 100% satisfied, we will return your $100 that it cost you. I didn't tell you what it would cost. If you're going to have this Valentine's Day dream party, it's only going to cost you $100 of cold hard cash, plus all of our expenses, which will be dear.
Mm-hmm.
Is that per cousin?
No.
That's all together.
$100 total for like potentially 29 Van Dyke first cousins. This is going to be awesome, man.
That's full service.
And I'll tell you, your girlfriend, not only is she going to feel like she is the prettiest girl at this Valentine's Day party, but she is going to look at everything differently in her life. She might consider things she never considered before. She might be doing things that she thought only whores on the internet did, in one night. And that might open up things for you in your relationship. I'm saying Van Dyke Party Services, if you're not 100% satisfied, we'll return your $100, but those expenses have run through our bodies and potentially yours, and most likely your girlfriend's. Van Dyke Party Services.
Don't live your life in regret.
Brought to you by our good friends and primary sponsors, Clean Flow, everyone. And that's Clean Flow with a K for any of you who want to look up their products. They're great products. Dave Charters is in the Orient right now trying to shell out Clean Flow additives and lubricants in the Orient. And he's doing that not because of his job as master of industry. He's doing it because he loves
Lubrication.
And he just wants to do it. Yeah, that's what he does.
So, smart man.
The real people's champion.
Yes. So we hope we hear reports back from Charters from the Orient, but otherwise it'll be 2 weeks from now. We will see Dave Charters.
2 weeks.
He promised us that he's going to be in here to tell us about his excursions.
We have a promise.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know how he is. Okay, so that's it for sponsors, unless you count Yarmy Electric. The goddamn Yarmy Electric. This ad campaign's got to stop. It doesn't work. What happens? My cousin Derek tries to get on with his life. All he wants to do is put out fires, plant deep into his wife, and raise more offspring.
Maybe play in the odd hockey tournament.
That's what he does.
I saw him this weekend. You know what he was? Exhausted.
Yeah. You want to know why? Because he's not doing things he loves. He's doing things he has to do. He's answering your calls, people. And I've told you every week on this program, stop fucking calling my cousin. He's busy.
Oh, my generator doesn't work. Look at me.
My livelihood's at stake. Fuck you.
I haven't put gas in my generator. Everything's fine. I'm an idiot.
Yarmy Electric, if we don't get it right the first time, we'll get it right the second time. If we don't get it right the second time,
You can go fuck yourself.
I'm going to say that's brought to you by Clean Flow, too.
He's
He's
fucking
primary
busy.
sponsor. We have had a couple of weeks where we have not received feedback from what's become one of our great super fans because she was traveling the world. She went to Jamaica,
Oh.
but she's back now.
Rasclat Bubclat.
It's our good friend, the Cheese Lady.
Ah.
Let's check with her, shall we?
Let's check in with her.
Chicken on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady. Chicken on the cheese lady, always having fun. Chicken on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady. Chicken on the cheese lady, always on the, yeah, we're chicken on the cheese lady. All the cheese lady, chicken on the cheese lady. Always drinking rum. Chicken on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady. Chicken on the cheese lady, oh no, what she done.
Pat her on the butt.
Fire.
Cheese Lady's been gone, but she's
Rah,
back.
rah.
And you know what? She gave us 3 of them this week on
Three
the
what?
on
But 3
Podgy.
stars?
No, 3 feedbacks.
Oh.
3
triple
different feedbacks
feedbacks.
because she was behind on episodes. So she says, ha ha ha, I'm getting jiggy with the Cheese Lady song, LOL. How fitting, because you just played it. And then she said, catching up on some great missed episodes. You guys all make me laugh. Love the Peacock story, ha ha ha. And then she also went and gave us a review on Facebook, 5-star review.
How's the Yelp?
That's 5.
Yeah. So she went out of her way. She's just a super fan of all super fans. Cheese Lady,
What up?
I don't know. You're the listener of the week.
Oh, she's the listener of the week. This is her week. It's her week, Teresa, right?
Yeah, Teresa.
Big T.
Yeah. You know, we got one of the things we mentioned in last week's program was the national anthem, that we have to change it. Trudeau already changed it. Now we're going to change it. We think we should change it altogether. If we're going to go through that much trouble to change a couple words here and there, let's just change the whole fucking thing. Rodeo song. Let's do it. I think the rodeo song is a perfect song for Canadians. We can all appreciate it being 40 below and you don't give a fuck. You got a heater in your truck, you know, and you're off to the rodeo. Everyone knows that. Everyone can feel that as a Canadian, you know. I think this is going to appeal to everybody. Here comes Johnny with his pecker in his hand. He's a one-ball man. That's all stuff we appreciate as Canadians, you know. And I am not the only one. One of our listeners, Laura Collins, joined my crusade. She agrees 100%. She wants to start it into a campaign. She wants to make this shit happen. I say, Laura Collins, I support you. Everyone in this goddamn room supports you. You do whatever you can do to make this shit happen.
And also become a shareholder.
Yeah, anything you can do. Even if you have to buy a T-shirt, buy a T-shirt.
That'd be
Just
awesome.
Go to the Life of the Dutch Doll shop, buy a fucking T-shirt.
It's that easy.
That's how easy it is.
And a lighter.
Yeah, buy a lighter. There's even a Fuck Charters lighter on
Fuck
there.
charters.
There should be.
Because we sold out of Rooster Sucks Balls lighters.
Hot
went
item.
like
I got
hotcakes.
mine.
Hot
I got
item.
mine.
And I see people, like, they're the cheapest made lighters in the world. Like, I just put, like, packing tape on, like, stuff it in on a dot matrix printer.
Pixelated.
Yeah, shit. Anyway, so I see people with these, like, crappy, like, they're all, like, water and, like, sun has bleached the picture, and it's, like, water's got into it. But it's still, like, got kind of Cheddar's face on it with a mustache, and it says Rooster Sucks Balls, and people, like, shove it in his face. They really, like, aggressive about it. Look at this. I hate you, and I don't even know you.
I just hate your face.
Yeah. That is one of the greatest pleasures in my whole life, is that I was able to do that to Charters, that I was able to, like, just make people that don't even know him just, like, not like him. This is my best friend. It's so funny. Anyways, there's only one more guy to get to. And, you know, he's been with us since day one on this show. He's our good buddy, the Haitian Dwarf. What you got the last time?
Hi-ho, it's off to bed we go, you.
What were we going to do?
Let's do it slow.
Yeah, we could slow it down.
You're...
You Thailand horse will beg for more. Hi-ho, hi-ho.
I forgot all
It came so quick. That's what she
That's
said.
what she said.
Oh, Michael Scott.
So the Haitian
Thanks,
Dwarf has
guys.
been with us since week one, and I wish my feedback would come up on my screen. Then I would know what to say. I'm going to have to paraphrase the Haitian Dwarf, which I hate to do, because
Oh.
all of his words, in my opinion, are brilliant, but we cannot wait for the computer to cooperate with me. So
Fair choice.
Sorry, love.
we're going to go with this. He gave us 5 stars.
No way.
All 5.
And he entitled it something around comedians talking comedy, is what he said. And his point was, isn't it ironic?
Don't you think?
It's like rain.
Isn't it ironic that a show about comedy starring comedians would have the amount of jokes it had, kind of thing? Yeah?
On the what side? The high side? The low side?
I believe what the Haitian Dwarf was getting at was that there's comics on the show, a number of them, 3, 4 maybe, depending how you would classify us. And you would, and he says, of all the comics that were on the show, no one was funny. There was no jokes, because we started talking seriously about comedy at the end, and it was not very funny, right? Because we were talking seriously about shop, you know?
Sure. You're getting deep.
Yeah, it was too talking shop, is what the Haitian Dwarf was saying. And I appreciate that. And I'm going to actually say, Haitian Dwarf, you're right. You're right. I get it. But some people like it. I've actually heard some people give feedback where they said talk more about the inside stuff because it's interesting to people who are on the outside looking in. But if you're not into comedy, if you're not like a comedy nerd, it's like people talking about. Like I heard Steve talk about the intricacies of some musicians, and I don't care because it doesn't mean anything to me. It's like you're talking another language, right? Because you're so much more into it than I am, right? That's a fair thing to say. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
and Steve just said football. He doesn't give a fuck about football.
Don't give a fuck about football.
Oh, that was a
Go
story.
Eagles.
How about that Super Bowl? Steve's like,
Is it over?
The
Did it
Eagles
happen?
won, Steve.
who?
Philadelphia.
Who exactly?
Awesome.
Good
The
for
town that has
Good
been
for
lit
them.
on fire. That's the team that won.
Still burning.
I think it's like
Congratulations.
like that's like they've been like Leaf fans, right? The
Oh,
Eagles
God,
fans.
yes. Yes.
Like they've been through like bullshit forever. So like this has got to be like time to burn shit, right?
yes, and Philadelphia fans are known as the crazy passionate fans. So when you win, you just ruin your city.
I don't want to incriminate myself, but as a Leaf fan, when it does happen, I may have picked out a bus shelter and a nice barrel to start on fire. It wasn't me.
You know what I like is that they oiled the poles that they climb, so people can't get up them. They just like painted them with oil because they knew that if they won, people are gonna just jump on the street signs and climb them.
Did they set them on fire?
They oiled it?
Yeah, exactly. So they just set them on fire. That's
They really did oil it?
yeah, they're showing guys on the street oiling the fucking street poles.
I saw people climb on an awning. Like
Just
the whole-
right
Yeah,
down.
that's the Ritz
Oh.
Carlton.
Yeah. At the Ritz Hilton?
Yeah. It was like
That's what they said. The poles are oiled. Might as well go on an awning.
Yeah. Just wreck shit, eh? I don't know. Has anyone been part of a riot? A mob? An angry mob?
Oh, not an angry mob, but when the Blue Jays won the World Series, it was pretty wild. I was in Toronto for that.
Yeah.
It was like walking on cars, like hood over cars instead of the sidewalks, just mobs of people
Oh, yeah.
going absolutely apeshit. It was awesome.
That-
And then the horses and cops came out, and then they ruined
night
all
in
the
Toronto.
fun.
The Mounties.
Yeah.
Checkerboard floors.
Yeah.
riding on horseback.
And keeping order restored.
And it worked. He's here to
They
tell the
wrecked
tale.
all the fun.
So we almost
That's awesome though.
Uh,
So you were there, like you were at the game, or you just intent?
Yeah, I was
like,
actually in a traffic jam on the way when Carter hit the home run. We were listening to it on the radio, like, right? And then he hit the home run.
Holy
downtown we went, out the car. It was awesome.
It'll happen with the Leafs. When the Leafs win, the same thing will happen.
Oh my god.
If they lose, worse things will happen.
Yeah.
Like if they make it to the Stanley Cup Finals again, and they lose. and it's in
Yeah, because
Toronto,
remember when Vancouver was in the finals?
Yeah.
And then they fucking trashed everything, right?
they took everything.
And they're like the most like weed smoking city in the
Right.
in the country, right? Like they should be the most chill, right? You think? And they did it. So I think Toronto could pull it off. Toronto might be bigger pussies though. Like I don't know, but it's not going to be Toronto. It's going to be everybody coming from,
right. It's like
from
us
outside
coming,
everywhere. It'd be
yeah.
like us. It'd be
Yeah.
like real people.
Scum.
Not our
The
stuff.
people that can't afford tickets to go to see Toronto would be the ones that
we're
would
just
all of a sudden
hanging out
show
at
up.
Real Sports, watching that
Waiting
big
to riot.
screen.
Yeah,
Outside.
some park somewhere.
What else do you do?
Yeah,
ready to set shit on fire.
yeah. We've been drinking for like 3 days.
All
Such
playoffs,
chance,
all
right, yeah.
playoffs, just waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have a great time. I'm
It
in.
could
too,
happen
man.
soon. I would say maybe in the next 5 years, maybe a chance.
I'm totally a bandwagon jumper when it comes to Leafs because I was like, I did so many years where I was a fan. I was like, fuck it, no more. Like I'm not gonna do it anymore because I can't take it in my heart. It hurts me too badly. But next time when they get good enough and they go on a run, I'll be like, I'll
You're
start
back?
back in.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I can't take it anymore. I hate everything about Toronto.
Yeah,
Actually, I don't even want to be a fan of theirs. I wish I could pick another, but I can't.
Why?
It's too into me. I grew up being a Leafs fan, so I can't
Yep.
stop cheering for them.
Join Vancouver.
No,
I
geographical
tried. I tried
proximity.
being a New
Come
Jersey
to my
fan,
side.
and then I tried cheering for other teams, and then when they played the Leafs, I would still end up cheering when the Leafs scored. I couldn't help myself.
Brainwashed.
Yeah, I'm too deep into it.
As long as you're not a Habs fan.
Yeah, House fans. Yeah.
Suck.
Right now they do.
House fans are like, they're such you can't like them because they always have like ammunition that you can't come
We
back
got 24
100%.
Stanley Cups.
Yeah, and we like when's and you're like, oh fuck yeah.
When's
How
the
long's
last
it
one
been?
they win?
20 years.
93.
93.
Yeah.
They win.
25 years.
Yeah, it's still Trump on
Yeah,
Toronto.
1967 Leafs.
Yeah, so
Now you know why
what do you
shit's gonna
say?
burn.
Yeah, but if the Leafs would win and like all of a sudden the Leafs would win, then we'd have an argument because we'd say, hey,
Oh,
when's the
yeah.
last time you won? 25 years ago, Habs? You're pieces of shit,
That's
Habs.
right.
No, if all of a sudden the Leafs won, I think I would have a renewed energy for the Leafs.
Yeah.
I
That's
think I might be
bullshit. You
back
got to
in.
suffer through the hard times.
I won't do it.
I could definitely get used to saying, Van Sank motherfuckers. Like 25. Like,
You know what? I would still be watching the Leafs if I went to a Leafs game and it didn't suck to be in the building.
Yeah.
Like I've been at so many more arenas and they're way better. Have you
Yeah.
been in like other rinks that
Yeah.
and they're way better,
Way
right?
better.
I don't know. I went to Montreal there a couple times, and now it's like a shopping plaza with a rink in it. Like,
Yeah, it's weird.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's ever going to be like Maple Leaf Gardens.
Yeah. But like
it's-
even Montreal's not as cool.
I didn't think it was cool at all. It's just a big
It's a-
complex, but
yeah.
it's not like separated from anything. It's interconnected. Like there's like a walkway, but
They're a
it's,
little more passionate, but like
the banners are cool.
I've been to like Chicago.
Yeah.
That rink is unreal. Like jerseys to the glass. There's no suits. Everybody's there to watch a fucking hockey game. The music's cranked to 100.
Yeah.
It's the most fun you've ever had.
Yeah, I think in
Like,
the,
even if you don't like hockey.
I think in the States like hockey's such a fourth sport
Yeah.
that
It's like,
it's for the everyday man.
Yeah, it's like that.
It's
What do
not
you-
corporate.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
you're
like
not
the
going to
X
take a
Games
corporate
almost.
client in the
Yeah.
U.S. to a hockey game.
No,
You're
you
going to go
take it-
baseball probably, or you're going to
Right.
go football,
Football.
or watch some dudes punch each other in the head.
or even basketball.
Right,
You
yeah.
have to.
But like the last thing's gonna be hockey, and so like it's for the real everyday man in the States. But
That's
in
right.
Canada, it's our number one, so it's for the fucking douchebags.
Corporate
Yeah.
douchebags. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
Totally.
filled with stuffed shirts, and all the good seats are empty for the first period. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
like
it's a real shame.
disappointing.
I want hockey to be like NASCAR.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Just
Like
bring
just
in a cooler
pump, just
beer.
everyday people, just there for a
Yeah.
good show, like
Plus,
wrestling.
It should be. It should
you
be
know?
like $15 to go see a hockey game, and you should be able to go see it. But it shouldn't be like fucking $1,000 to take your kids to a game.
Oh, we all love it so much.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, but that's our own fault, right?
Yeah, it's
we
our own
created the
fault.
market, right?
Feed the machine.
Yeah, but you know what? You can watch really awesome hockey if you go like. Well, Paul went to the Knights game, and like
There you go.
you watch like that, and it's a lot cheaper, but it's probably
Still
still
good.
it's still
Bang for
probably
your
pretty
buck.
expensive.
It's you can't miss.
Oh, yeah, it's fucking wicked.
Sweet rank. Those are
The kids
NHL
don't-
kids.
The kids don't know any different, and the kids you're watching are going to be in the NHL soon anyway.
right.
Yeah, that's right.
In the next 2 years, they're making the draft. Or
Yeah, that's right. Who gives a shit? Like it's like in the States, they watch college football as much as they do.
That's right. Yep.
Like NFL, and you're watching kids though. As I get older, I find that I give a shit less about watching children play a sport. Like even though you watch like the Super Bowl, like they're like still 20 years younger than me. Everybody, I don't give a fuck about kids playing a game.
No,
know
you
what I
don't. But they're in their prime.
Yeah, I know, but I don't.
Damage yourself in front of me for my money.
Yeah,
In your
yeah,
prime.
that's
In your
where I-
prime. I don't want to watch it at 45, but
uh,
20, give me those good years.
I do feel guilt, like what Ben's referring to. I do feel
see,
guilt
I
like
don't
that.
f-
Like,
like,
as an old
they
man,
are
I'm just
loving
sitting
it.
there watching people kill themselves.
We had to deal with that because we were going to go see a fight when we were in Thailand. And there was a possibility. You don't know what you're going into. We were like, are they going to be like 10-year-old kids? And there was like an ethical dilemma. And we were thinking to ourselves, at what age am I comfortable watching two consenting, I know it's probably a horrible word to use, minors punch each other in the skull? Like, at what point is it okay?
I was ready for 10-year-olds. I didn't care.
Yeah, if it's consent and they want to do that, and who knows, maybe they're bad at math and this is their best shot.
Yeah. Yeah, but I want to. You guys went to. I have to. Like, I totally effed this whole show up because I
Good
was
segue,
looking
thank
at my thing. But like, we have. We didn't even talk about you guys' trip, and I have to talk about it right now. We have to get into it between Braden and Ben. They went on 2 trips since the last time they were in the Dutch Hall.
2 times.
You went once to Morocco.
Yep.
2 of you, just the 2 of you, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you went once to Thailand.
Yeah, it's like Stella got her groove back 1 and 2.
Just the two.
Oh, a sequel, right? So at the first trip, I remember you were here just before you left, right? And you guys didn't know how it was going to go traveling with one another because you never traveled that much with each other
No.
before, right?
No, exactly.
And then, so obviously it must have went well because you did another trip.
Yeah.
We didn't kill each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
It matched up. So then you go to Thailand. So you go to Morocco. We'll go to Morocco first, right? Why'd you pick Morocco?
I wanted to be the first Irish man in Africa.
I'm not
You
really.
think you were the first?
I think I wanted
In
to.
my family, maybe.
I think I wanted to like sway my own like. I don't know. Like
Racist tendencies.
not the word. Not like that, but kinda.
Like,
But like
Perceptions.
That's the word. Yeah. Just challenge my perceptions of
Muslim
that
nation.
area of the world.
Africa, you hear on the on the TV and what the TV wants you to know, and then you go to these places and you meet these people and you realize,
same thing, right?
yeah, it's like fuck,
Sort
just-
of.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, 5 times
a little different,
Yeah,
but-
five times a day for prayer calls a little different. Not my per se, but for everyone, rock on. But that was there's some cultural adjustments for sure when you go to a country where you don't speak the primary language,
Yeah.
and you're a guest.
Yeah.
You're a guest, and I think that we don't forget that when we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I always feel you're like really are representing more than just yourself. You're representing like your country, really.
Yeah. First
In a
question,
way.
what's your name? Second question, where are you from?
Yeah. And then once that is, they're going to form their opinion on
Yep.
all of us based on fucking Ben.
Serbia. Don't worry, I got you guys covered.
So, but that's true though. Eh? That's why, like, I've seen, like, I've been guilty of it myself. I meet a few people from New Zealand, and they're cool. I think all people from New Zealand are cool,
100%.
you know. But really, I'm sure there's dicks there too, you know, like every country.
100%.
So the biggest cultural adjustment in Morocco was what?
The prayer 5 times
Yeah.
a day, and it's over like loud horn speakers throughout every city.
But not like, but yeah. But
Yeah.
exactly, but not synchronized. Like if you're gonna do that every day, you would think you'd want to synchronize it. Not hating, just merely pointing out a fact.
Yeah.
There's like 6 speakers in Tangier that go off, but they don't go off at the same time.
Yeah, they're like a few seconds apart, so
It's
you
like-
get this weird
yeah.
like.
Like
kinda-
imagine row your boat.
Yeah,
and
it's
you
like a
don't know the
round.
fucking words.
It's like a weird round that happens.
That's all
Except
the
it's in
best.
Arabic.
Yeah, and
And
I
it's
mean,
a prayer.
no judgment, but that was definitely in Morocco the biggest.
Yeah,
cultural
just sync it up,
adjustment.
man. We have the technology. Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morocco, yeah. Do your prayer shit, but get it synced up so it's not offensive to our ears.
Well, yeah, just do it right. Like invest in that every day.
Yeah, it's important to you. It's
I-
obviously important to your culture. Get the technology right.
Yeah.
I kind of liked the way it was out of sync because it kind of made this weird like noise that was almost musical in a
Unison.
way.
Oh, you like
Because
it?
it was kind of weird.
Called
Like
a
it was
unison.
it was out of sync, but it kind of made this weird. I don't know how to describe it.
vibe.
No, not
Unison.
even that. Just like it was just pleasant to the ear. It was kind of interesting. It was interesting.
He's been searched. Don't worry, he cleared CSIS.
You said before, if I remember correctly, you said that you wanted to. You said there was instruments and like some sort of like,
Yeah, I
Like-
still don't know what they're called.
but it's some sort of like you said intestine or something like that,
Yeah,
or was it or
it's a sheep's intestine.
like a sheep's
Like a
intestine?
bass, it's like a 3-string bass.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see it when you were over there?
No.
I don't think we saw that. We did jam in some like hole in the wall kind of club with a violinist and I think 2 other guitarists and some guy on some sort of like sort of like bongos or whatever the equivalent is there. That was fun. I think I've got the entire thing recorded.
Yeah, but other than like the instruments, no, you don't want to start that conversation with people on the street. Where there are people playing for sure, Market Square, covered with hustlers. But I
Yeah.
don't want to go and watch a guy for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because then I'm gonna have to pay that guy for the 5 minutes.
We definitely showed them how to play Rock into the Free World by Neil
yeah,
Young.
that was a little welcoming gift.
Yeah.
Did you do the same thing in Thailand?
No, we never ended up jamming with anybody.
We did sing karaoke though in the 3rd story of a foreign mall at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon with like 2 Asian women.
Yeah, on like a Wednesday.
Yeah,
It was-
yeah. we were
Where'd you
just-
pick?
Well, actually, what we started with the band, The Wait,
Yeah.
and then
Oh,
Joe
okay.
Cocker with a little help from our friends. What we ended up with is something completely different.
They didn't have what we wanted.
No, and if they did, it would have been in MIDI, and it would have been very bad.
Yeah.
So we ended up staying alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Braden hits those. Oh, those
We rocked the
harmonies.
shit out
Oh,
of
those
that.
2 Asian women. Oh,
They were digging it.
yep, exactly. And then the second one we asked for was Honky Tonk Woman
By the
By the
Stones.
Stones. Easy, something. I mean, you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
have the Stones. Maybe don't have Joe Cocker.
They gave us something by like John,
Honky Tonk Man by
By the-
Johnny Horton.
Yeah, so we had
And
to,
expected us to sing it.
we faked our way through the best.
They were very
Oh,
impressed.
that's tough when you're expecting honky tonk woman.
Yeah.
And you get
Yeah.
honky tonk man. Oh man,
I wasn't
that's throwing
feeling
you
it.
for a loop.
Huge.
For you guys to stick that out, that's really to your
you
credit.
you know what? It was for the fans.
Yeah, you have to do it for those two Asian girls.
No,
Makes
Asian
sense.
women. We're not talking like
Oh,
young
women.
girls. We're
Sorry.
talking like 60.
Yeah.
You know, they're spending 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday in the third story of a mall.
And they're all singing like what sound like traditional kind of
Yeah.
like Thai songs or
Yeah, yeah.
something. And we come in like, doing "Stayin' Alive" with perfect harmony. I might add.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Braden, you look like a rock star too.
Oh,
Like
you got-
Ben can
Bon
walk
Jovi.
amongst the people, right?
I'm a regular folk now.
Yeah, you can even in Morocco. I think that because you have dark coloring or whatever, like you have blue eyes though, but maybe that would tip you off as being a white devil.
Well,
But I don't know. But
No, it's true.
Braden sticks out like a sore thumb
Oh.
because he would look like a rock star.
every
when
time
he-
we've traveled, we've had words. Because look, we look different. If you're going to Morocco, we're going to look a little different. If we're going to Thailand, clearly we're going to look a little different. So we
Yeah.
always try to pick a word that the culture wouldn't know, but we could communicate back and forth. And what we decided on both trips.
What's the word for?
Oh, scary, like run, like fucking go.
Like a
Okay.
safe word.
Like yeah, safe word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not in that sort of way, but yeah. And so we picked like 1990s like hockey players. So the first one we went, we're like Yager. No one in Morocco is going to go Yager. They're going to go what? The second one we went with in Thailand was Zezel after the great Peter Zezel.
Good face-off, man.
Good
face-off man,
Solid
soccer
ears.
player,
Solid ears.
knows how to use his feet.
But yeah, you have to think about that. You don't speak the language, you don't know. And the hustling was a lot different in Thailand than it was in Morocco. Morocco was like
Very
all
aggressive.
the time.
Oh,
All the
yeah?
time.
Yeah. If you take pictures of somebody or you're taking a photo and there's somebody in that photo that,
They want a piece.
Yeah.
they run up to you and say, yeah, give me, a certain amount of dirham or whatever it is.
Yeah. And the big scam is you're going the wrong way. Let me show you.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Oh,
they
yeah.
show you, and then they hit you up for 20 euros at the end.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
And the Germans and the older people, you see them in groups. That's just like feeding frenzy.
Yeah.
They're getting all the counterfeit purses.
So do you do research before you go, like to know what the
Morocco,
pitfalls
we did.
are,
Yeah.
Thailand, we just winged it.
Yeah.
We just flew
Yeah.
into Bangkok.
and like, and just figured it out as
Yeah,
you went?
we spent like 3 nights in Bangkok at this hostel, which was really nice, and
Yeah.
just went from there. Now you can either go like south into like the beach area, or you can go north. So we decided to go north,
Yep.
as you can see from our great tans.
How did you find Thailand though? Like, because most
We looked
people
on a map.
no, most people go to Thailand because they're dirty perverts. Is that true?
No
Is that true in this situation?
No, like, did you see it?
that's
Did you
very
see
general.
like the sex?
Oh, best
yeah.
part.
Yeah, we went down to a place. It's like the red light district, but
Not
it's called
that
Soy Cowboy, and it was started by like some American
General,
GI
yeah, in, like,
in
the
like the
70s.
70s. And
Yeah.
it's just an entire street of just go-go bars
Yeah.
and like hookers and
Imagine like Nickies, but like a row of Nickies with lights, but not like new lights, like 1990s. Like, come on in, boys.
and the best-looking men you've ever seen.
Well, they do say that the best-looking Asian women are actually Asian men.
Yes.
Yeah. And
That's what they say in Thailand.
do they have lady boys that come in to try to escort you?
Yeah. What was the bar? Cockatoo, I think.
Cockatoo,
it was?
yeah. There was one dedicated, so if you had 12, there would be one like that.
Yeah.
Right beside the Cialis stand that they were selling.
Really? See, Alice
yeah.
did?
Yeah.
Bootleg seal.
Yeah.
Oh man, did you bring any home?
No.
Oh, we
Oh
didn't
damn man,
buy
I'd buy
any.
that. I'd pay for that.
But it was interesting to watch the.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Really went down that rabbit hole.
What? Was that on the internet? My dick doesn't work like it used to. Shit. Damn it. No, well, I think that you must have went to a place like that. Then you go to you're in the red light district of Thailand where all the dirty stuff happens. All
Belly
this-
of the beast.
You're seeing all this sexual stuff. You go back to your hostel. Surely, you must be thinking about different things. Surely, you must
That happens.
sometimes.
I think there's a funny story that you.
No.
tell.
Different spot, different time, and I.
Oh, was it? It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't resulting of that.
No. It wasn't any stimulation. I've never really had yellow fever. I think I probably got a shot for it. So when I went over, I never got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were not sexually stimulated by the Thai women.
Correct.
And but yet still, something in your psyche must have had to pull at some memory of something. Maybe your girlfriend, I would imagine.
There might have been a
Well, he's-
situation. The worst thing was I felt like a real felon. Because in Thailand, actually, the pornographic laws, not there was anything transmitted, but if there was, would actually be illegal.
What do you mean?
You can't share porn, create porn, view porn.
Oh, porn's just against the rules.
You can get a hand job for $50 around the corner, no questions
But no
asked.
porn.
No porn. No porn.
No white women.
Shame.
That's like
how
opposite.
I got back.
Yeah, that's like opposite of what we can do because you can't be a prostitute here, but if you film it,
Yeah, you can
You
pump
can-
off left and right.
yeah, you can film in exchange for money and sex, and it's legal. But if you don't film it, it's illegal. I don't get that one.
I think the real question that derives from the story is this: when's the last time you got busted?
Oh, jerking off?
Yeah.
Well, because we should actually, we kind of hinted at the story, but we didn't actually get into it. I heard somewhere along the line that you were referred to as another name
Yes.
in Thailand,
That is correct.
He's the Chiang Mai Chubby Choker.
the Chiang Mai Chubby Choker, and this is because you were caught in a precarious position.
I was.
By who?
By the
Proprietor
of the building.
hostel.
Yes.
The hostel
Yep.
owner.
Yes.
Yep.
The hostel owner, who is a Thai person,
He is.
a
Very nice man.
Thai man.
Very cool dude.
And now, where were you in the time where you're in this engaging in this?
I would say I just arrived at the Elephant Nature Reserve.
Oh, he arrived.
The Elephant Nature Reserve.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is leading me to a whole bunch of new questions that I didn't consider. Because you were at the Elephant Reserve, and now what set you off? Like, what was the
17 day-
tantalizing part of
well,
the
se-
elephants?
Well, the 17 days, I mean. Fuck, I'm a human being.
Right.
17 days.
So did you see an elephant pussy? Is that what it was?
No comment.
Like, because they are probably
Wait,
probably
in the-
enormous.
Actually, in the timeline, yeah, we did. But no, that's not exactly
wasn't
what I
what
was
said.
thinking about at the moment. Thanks.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the
No.
big, huge elephant pussy. Because
No,
because I can imagine you being at the reserve and an elephant just turns around and you're like, oh, Jesus, it's going to take a dump. And then you're like, all of a sudden you're like, oh, my God, look at the size of that big, huge elephant pussy. And then you're like, I want to get back to the hostel.
I want to get back to wow. Not how it transpired.
That
Thank
wasn't
you.
what- okay.
Yeah, no.
That wasn't it.
No.
Okay, but you were at the elephant hostel
Yep.
or the elephant reserve.
Yep.
And what happened there?
Well, the shower light didn't work. I didn't realize to lock the door. There was two fucking people, Braden and myself.
You're in the shower.
I wasn't in the shower.
No, you weren't in the shower with me. He was listening at the door.
Call that Wednesday.
Listen to this. Listen to this. I had a buddy of mine that lived in my bunkhouse when I was on the farm, and he was. We had so we're in the bunkhouse. He was there for planting season, and he's a guy I'd lived with at the university, and he was in the shower, and it was like I was in the living room, and then he goes in the bathroom, and he goes into the concrete block shower that we built for the bunkhouse, and he goes and jerks off in the bathroom, in the shower, and then he comes back and says, "Hey Pete, I just fucked your girlfriend." Because that's the only girl he had seen since he started planting, so he just went and jerked off thinking of my girlfriend, and that's how he.
Was fired.
No, that's how he did it, and he thinks if he jerked off thinking of the person that he banged them, that was as good as banging them. in his
Braden's got a whole town pregnant.
mind. Yeah.
How rude and accurate.
So the guy comes in. You
Yeah.
have to break down the guy coming in.
Yeah. So basically,
So you no door locked. You're in the shower. You're
Yeah,
wanking
it's a
off
big-
to an
it's-
elephant puss, and all of a sudden,
and all of a sudden the door opens and there I am and there he is but it wasn't even like a fast close. Like as soon as I opened the door and I went, holy fuck, I'm sure I yelled something audible. I can't remember at the moment. I was trying to cover certain items. But in the moment, but we made eye contact. Like it was like he opened, I turned around, was like, oh gee. Like it wasn't even just like, oops, sorry. Like, you're taking a shit and someone
Yeah,
accidentally opens
yeah.
the door. You're like, oh, caught me. But in this case, you caught me.
so you just kept going. Is that what you're saying? You didn't. It didn't. Oh,
Invited him in.
He's
Whoa,
a mere
whoa,
man.
whoa. 17 days was long, not that long.
That's what he said.
so did this guy just kind of open and shut the door,
Yeah, pretty much after.
and
we made
then
eye contact.
afterwards, did you have interactions with
We
the
did.
fella?
Yeah. Actually, the best interaction, because I got to tell Braden, because Braden has as it was termed for Tyler Shasman, is also a gentle pervert. And, so we had to laugh about this story here, but we come back out. I don't know. We had a nap about 2 hours later, and sure enough, there's an out of order on the shower I used. Apparently, there's a water issue.
Yeah.
Viscous.
Oh, this is a viscous.
No,
Clogged it right up with his viscous jizz.
But it was awkward because we had to check out. We still had to make the transaction. We still had to shake hands, and he knew.
Yeah.
He knew.
But he knew two things, to be fair, Ben. He knew that you jerked off, and he knew that you were in the shower and you probably washed your hands.
He shook your hand.
He shook my hand. It was
Great.
wait. It wasn't like open the door, shake my hand.
Oh.
This was a transaction that transpired many
You didn't
hours
shake
later.
your hand when it was on your dick in the shower, is what you're saying, right? I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, he definitely did. Thank you, though.
It was
And
this disappointed look that was so hard to take, right?
But I want to say something quickly. This is the fucking point I forgot that and it's a good close to this one. This is the point I forgot. It's that you know how the internet exists, and everybody thinks that
Stephen
it's
Harper.
infinite. You know, it's infinite. There's every opinion. There's everything on the internet, right? And yet, people seem to find their own opinion and stick to that on the internet, and it becomes less focused, like less perspective on the earth. So like people have, when you think you have this tool that everybody can get more perspective on everyone's opinion, it seems like everyone's just focused on their opinion and they just find more evidence to support it, and they're not finding perspective.
An echo chamber.
Yeah, something that can shout back the shit that they already think, and then they never expand what they think. Where you guys travel to other parts of the world, and you have no choice but to open your eyes and see perspective where you didn't have perspective before, right?
Yeah.
And how do you?
Yeah.
But how do you see the value in, like, this is obviously, like, I would think that this is of great value. Like, if I wanted to suggest this to my kids, I'd say, like, you should do this, because the importance of living a full life is, and trying to gain wisdom is to get perspective so that you have something to base things on, right? And you guys did it. You guys are doing it.
Right.
And so did you get anything out of the experience? Like, do you see anything that you could learn from going on these two trips?
100%. Like so many things, but I think the big thing comes down
Lock
to
the door.
is I'm thankful. Like, it's great, and I love to be an observer. Like, it's a zoo for 2 weeks, and then I come home, and then I come home back to real life. And you know what? We got it pretty fucking good here.
Yeah.
You know,
You haven't found anything that you would trade it for yet?
No.
No.
And I smoked hash in Morocco, and that still's not worth trading it for. I mean, I didn't, but a friend of mine did.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
But no, I think that the big thing you take home is how not necessarily lucky, and there's shit to bitch about, and
Yeah.
but really it could be worse. But really it could be a lot better too.
Yeah, when we're bitching about mankind, person kind stuff, our country is pretty easy. It's pretty easy to deal with, at the end of the day.
Fuck, bud.
The one,
Fuck bad.
the one thing that I took away from it was that in Thailand they kind of have like a whatever you do, don't snap at people, like no matter how difficult the situation is, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like that mentality, and I kind of like that.
Oh, really? It's like it would be like
it's
a
like
great
just
shame for
don't-
them if they were to lose their temper
Like
or something.
freak out. We heard one guy freak out like in traffic, and he was yelling at some tourists. He'd, "Get the fuck out of the road!"
Yeah.
But I think one of the things from a political level that I took back, or maybe not a political, but a cultural difference, is when I went to these countries, I was a guest. And should I ever choose to live in that country, I will remain a guest.
Yeah.
And that's a very difficult thing, and I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent, to bring home.
But-
Because, I would never go to, let's say, Thailand, even though we did see a Christian center, and try to push my beliefs down people's throats. I would never go to Morocco. That is the last thing I would do in Morocco.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what jail I'm more scared of, Thai jail or Moroccan jail.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be in either of them. And
That's one thing I brought back, was just say, you know what, enjoy what we have, and hopefully the people enjoy what we can offer them.
Yeah. But it's different if you went to a Western country, if you went to, say, Belgium or whatever, and you were...
Oh, fuckos. Oh, yes, fuckos.
It's my people.
Yeah, but they're more like... But then you probably wouldn't feel the same...
They're still white people, or Caucasian, or whatever you want to call them. That's
In a
the difference.
Christian-based country.
Yeah, sure.
and
What?
Sure, or a Catholic, or something that
Yeah.
believes in...
Oh, yes,
yeah,
my
and that's just more
Oh, yes.
familiar to you, so you
Yes,
don't
what
feel...
dan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zwarte wit?
Wat wiet?
Zwarte?
You know what? We were way over time. Way over time, and I'm sorry. I'm just going to end with one street joke.
One time.
I'll say one street joke. I made everybody think of one, but I'm going to tell this one because it's about the nocturnal emissions.
Uh-oh.
This is a joke that actually happens in the future. It's not really a joke. It's a true story.
Is this a movie?
Yeah, one day,
Based on a book by Saffron.
Paul was driving the nocturnal emissions and Live from Dutch Hall crew on a bus. And we're going to going to tour the country. And oh my goodness, does Paul fucks up big time and crashes the bus.
What the fuck, Paul?
And all the nocturnal emissions die, with the exception of me and Paul. We're not part of the band, and we also are sitting in the front. We got airbags. We live. But Michael, Wes, Dave Charters, and Steve the Reluctant German all die tragically in the bus accident and end up at the pearly gates of heaven. And there they are, standing at the pearly gates. Wes is first in line. Mike's right behind him. Steve's behind Mike, and Dave's bringing up the rear.
Thank goodness.
Right? Wait, hold on a second. No.
Dave's bringing up the
No.
punchline?
Charters is third in line, and Steve's bringing up the rear.
Oh.
God.
It's very
damn it.
integral to this joke.
Damn it.
So anyways, they go up to the pearly gates. Wes goes first to St. Peter, and he says, St. Peter says to him, Wes, we're happy to see you here on the gates of heaven, but we have one question to ask you before you enter the gates of heaven. We have to ask you one thing. Wes, have you ever touched a man's penis before? And Wes says to St. Peter, St. Peter, I can't lie to you at the gates of heaven. I'm going to have to tell you the truth. There's one time I remember I was reaching over to grab, to shut off the alarm clock when my brother and I used to share a bed when we were young, and I grazed my pinky finger across my brother's penis. Felt shame about it immediately, but I have to tell you the truth, St. Peter, that's what I did. I grazed my pinky finger on my brother's dick. And St. Peter says, Wes, dip your finger in the holy water and enter into the kingdom of heaven. Right? So Wes enters in.
Hey.
Mike Bowe's next up,
Fuck, what'd I do?
and he goes into the. He goes to say St. Peter, and St. Peter says, Michael, I'm so happy to see you, Michael. Just got to ask you the same question I asked Wes. Have you ever touched a man's penis before? And then Michael said, St. Peter, I played a lot of hockey in my day. But, of all those times, I never touched that man's penis. But there was one time where I was at a party after a hockey tournament, and I was drunk as a skunk, and I passed out on a bed. And when I woke up, I saw one of my friends with his balls right above my face.
Oh.
And I was angry as hell that he was doing this to me. And I remember I grabbed up and I just grabbed the first thing I could, and it was his dick, and I gave it a yank. And I feel terrible about it, but I was angry about it. That's what I did. And St. Peter said, Michael, I want you to dip your whole hand in that holy water, and then you can enter into the kingdom of heaven. So that's what Michael did.
Sweet.
And then St. Peter looks back in line, and there's Stephen and David just fighting like two cats and dogs, just fighting like crazy. They're just like jockeying for position. One's trying to get in front of the other's trying to get in front of the other. And St. Peter's like, boys, why don't you settle down? What's the problem here? And Stephen says to St. Peter, he says, if you think I'm gargling with that holy water after he's had his ass in it, you got another thing coming. Anyways, get off of that Zoom shot. Steve, you only sucked a dick. Church took it right in the ass. Just so you know, I saved you the worst
win.
spot. You win.
Thanks.
Church took it right in his behind.
There you go.
Everybody, if you'd like to support our show, please share something online. It helps us out greatly. Otherwise, you can send us some feedback at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com. And we are Dutch Hall on Instagram, Dutch Hall on Twitter. We are live from the Dutch Hall on Facebook. And you can tell a friend, do whatever you want to do. Look up our dates online.
Like and share.
Like and share. Do that shit.
It's
you know?
fun. It's easy.
And let us know who you want us to book as a guest. Other than that, we will see you NT. See you next Thursday.
done.